Let's go back to Ephesians chapter 6. I hope I've succeeded in showing you that there is a real conflict taking place in the heavenly realms. And we've got part to play. It's not going to come to success without our doing our part. Have you grasped that? Say yes or no. Yes. I hope you have. Because if you haven't, I've been wasting my time. Now, let me point out something to you which another preacher pointed out to me just recently. If you read Ephesians, every statement in it is in the plural. There's not one statement to an individual. It's all to you, plural. To you, the church. To you, the believers. This whole scenario does not leave room for the Lone Ranger. He has no part to play in this. It's going to be a corporate action by the people of God, or it's not going to work. So we come back to Ephesians 6, going on in verse 13. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So Paul's picture is taken from the equipment of a Roman legionary, what was called his panoply, his full armor, or his full equipment. And he gives it a spiritual application. I wish I knew a way to blow my nose without getting it recorded, but it doesn't. All right, we are in Ephesians 6, verse 13. Therefore, now you've heard the famous Prince saying, haven't you? When you find a therefore in the Bible, you want to find out what it's there for. And verse 13 is there because of verse 12. Because we're involved in this life and death conflict with satanic forces in the heavens, take up the whole armor of God. And let me say, this is of most urgent importance for all of you who are involved in spiritual warfare. Don't go into it unarmed. And Paul lists 6 pieces of armor. And the first 5 are all weapons of self-defense or equipment. I want to go through them briefly, and I want you to check. How much do you have on? It's verse 14. Stand therefore having girded your waist with truth. The first piece of equipment is the girdle, the belt. Now you need to understand, in those days, most often, both men and women wore long garments that stretched below the knees. And you find a phrase used quite often in the Bible, gird up your loins. Because to do anything active, the first thing you had to do was get your long garments up above your knees so that you could freely move your legs. So what you did was you put the girdle on, you pulled the long garment up and you tucked it into your girdle. After that, you were ready for action. Before that, you couldn't go into action. Your long garment would have impeded you. Stand therefore having girded your waist with truth. I think that's very important. I think it means being ruthlessly honest with ourselves, with other people. The pastor was talking about my first wife, Lydia, and she was a person who told it like it is. Somebody, he was reminding me, somebody said to her, "How are your children?" So she said, "Do you really want to know?" And the man said, yes, well, sit down and I'll tell you. And she went through all 8 children, one by one, and told them exactly. See? In other words, she took the words seriously. She did not use idle speech. She didn't use religious cliches. They're a terrible hindrance if you want to be a real committed Christian. You cannot hide behind religious talk. You've got to be sincere. You've got to tell it like it is.